Welcome back to Film Fanatics. My name's Miles, and today we're talking about Expendables 4. And before we hop into that, and before I hop into everything that I get into, want to shout out my cousin. He owns Red Square Production. He's let me use his studio. So, different background this time, so I hope y'all enjoy. But overall, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. Expendables 4 is basically telling that same story that Hollywood's been telling since a really long time. I remember it in James Bond, No Time to Die, where they tried to pass the mantle on to the black lady and giving us a story where James Bond is obviously clearly too old. And even within this year with Indiana Jones, trying to pass the mantle to somebody younger and showing you all these old dudes just trying to live their heyday. Yeah, once they were special officers or they were football players or they were someone spectacular, and now Hollywood wants to show us how these old men age smoking a freaking stogie on a motorcycle. Yeah, that's basically the trope here. But before I get into my breakdown, my review, everything I thought about the movie, I want to go ahead and say thank you so much to my 64 subscribers. We're only going to need 1 million more so we can get a movie theater fashion that'll fit all 1 million of us in the seats, and we're going to watch, what are we going to watch? We're going to watch Inception 10,000 millimeters. Now, I understand that might not be one of your favorite movies, but that's definitely one of my favorite movies. So you need to sit down and hit that subscribe button. Don't let it hit you back. I heard it hits people back. So don't let it hit you back, and definitely join what we have going here. You have the power to help that movie theater be made, and it starts by hitting that subscribe button. So thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and get into it. So basically, Expendables opens up with Sylvester Stallone, Jason Statham, basically being old men and like living their lives, kind of doing whatever they're doing, getting into trouble, having fun. I love the dialogue opening up. I loved how the movie opened up, because that first 20 minutes, I'm like, I don't know what people are talking about. I'm definitely enjoying this movie, even though the CGI at the beginning was like, okay, that's not amazing, but I definitely love the kill scenes, a lot of shoot 'em up, bang, bang, a lot of blood splatter, a lot of these different types of tropes, and I definitely enjoyed that. And if you're a diehard fan of Fast and the Furious, I'll definitely think you'll enjoy Expendables 4, because like I said, a lot of the action is there. It's very gory. It's very but like I said, as the movie keeps going, I do not think that any of the characters outside of Jason Statham basically made this movie watchable, because he's the only one that's actually believable that could actually do this. I understand they're actors and they're not really doing this, but at the same time, make me believe it. With the CGI and the actors kind of not, being all the way there, it kind of took me out the movie. It kind of just made it hard to believe. And then overall, it just kind of made it lackluster the more it went. And then, obviously the normal tropes are the normal tropes. They're trying to find something. They're trying to get that MacGuffin, but obviously something happens. And it plays all into the tropes of old men being old men and the young team taking over and old men just doing bad stuff. So, they lose these detonators, they lose these nukes, and basically for the rest of the movie, a new team led by, I forget her name, but she's the pretty girl from Transformers, the first one. I forget her name, but I'll remember it. But yeah, so they basically follow her for the rest of the movie, trying to figure out who was the guy who gave away the intel, gave away their secrets, because they are eventually ambushed, where I think they should have got shot the hell up, but they did not get shot the hell up. They simply get captured and, de-armored. So it's like, yeah, y'all are just cruising for a bruising. Like, these are the Expendables, supposedly. So you're supposed to be able to kill these people. But, they leave them kind of, hostage. And then Jason Statham is also kicked off the team, because earlier in the movie, he got not Jason Statham, but Sylvester Stallone, he ended up dying, supposedly. And you stay tuned for that. So he ends up dying because he didn't stick to the mission, and the other guy shot him out the air for real. So like I said, his new team's getting led by this lady, which isn't bad. But like I said, and she's always in a full face of makeup. Like, all the ladies are in a full face of makeup. Like, that is not realistic. I'm just saying, there's just too many things that took me out of the movie. Too many things that took away from this actually being a good spectacle, a good time at the movie theaters. Outside of all of the, the shoot 'em up, bang bangs, explosions. Because even, like I said, the CGI is really bad. Outside of all these different things, like I said, Jason Statham really brings it back to life. He ends up coming aboard the ship with the nuke, where our main protagonists are all being held hostage. They eventually figure out that the dude in charge, he was freaking doubling back on him. He betrayed him. Like, I guess, Expendables 4, what can you expect? They probably should have ended this after the last one, but hey. So they eventually get off the ship with the help of another guy who knew Sylvester Stallone's character. He ends up helping them. They end up doing some really badass stuff. They get off the ship, and what's it called? Jason Statham saves the day, essentially. And then, all of a sudden, plot twist, plot armor. Sylvester Stallone comes back and he shoots up the bad guy and he takes Jason Statham off the ship and the ship blows up and they sing Kumbaya, you know? Not much to think about, not much going on. Like I said, if you really like Fast and the Furious, if you really like, a lot of gory, bloody violence, this is your movie. Don't go in there expecting anything too spectacular, too great. Like I said, it follows most of those tropes of that old man in Hollywood. Like I said, if you've seen those movies, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. But if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so very, 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 very much. You watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sending it to your friends, interacting at any point at all, it means the world to me. It makes making content 10 times more easier. I'm definitely watching these movies because I heard someone thinks, oh, I'm not watching. Like, yes, I am. I'm watching all these movies because I love movies and I love delivering this content to you. So support and I'll support you. Thank you so much. Let's get to another, billion subscribers and let's have a great rest of the day. Take care.